Hello and welcome everybody. Akmal here, and I know that this is technically like a day late, maybe 2 days, depending on editing, of course. But Loyalties of Requiem's Omega Co-ops are now out, and they also added a little bit of something else. They added an Omega level 2 stage. And well, as you can see by the might, it's a pretty steep might. This is easily Chimera Plus difficulty. This is easily Chimera Plus required weapons. Core weapons are very difficult for this. I'm just gonna say that outright. Now then, the reason why I have a dark unit on here is because of the team I used. Now then, you can use water for this. You can very easily use water how it's intended to. But however, just if, say for example, you don't have a very good water team, it's not worked up quite yet, but yet your dark team is absolutely stacked, you invested in it, it is like near perfect, you can use dark. You can very easily dark this. But however, it's not the same dark you would use for most other content though. And this video should hopefully explain why I use this team, what other options you can use, stuff like that. Now then, just if I found this helpful, like, comment, subscribe, standard shout out things. So now, let me explain this team real quick, alright? Now then, Galax right here, Alex. I did 50, I did put a lot of investment into her. Now then, obviously Shinobi, because, well, Shinobi is the best dragon to main for Dark, really. Mabagito, that's why I chose her, because she will be my primary DPS. She's my primary DPS outright. Now then, the prints I have for her are Primal Crisis and Shining Overlord. The reason why I didn't do the Optimal Poison Punisher print is because you can't poison Phraeganoth. That is why. That's also why Dark must be run differently. Instead of the standard use poison punisher prints, have units that benefit from the poison off of their skills. No, this must be non-poison dark. So with Galax, literally what I just did was I just spammed Crisis Edge. I had no reason to use Umbrella Erasure except in the break for that massive break damage. That's it. So now going into the rest of the team, you have your DPS now. What you want for the rest of your team is a combination of supports or healers. I ran a lot of combinations, but let me say this right now. If you own Glio, you want to use Glio for this. Glio supports so many things on this. It is actually ridiculous, alright? Glio, because she can lower defense that can stack with other Glios as well, so that's very good. As well as Galax's even. But also because of the Ancient Ray into her Force Strike, giving that circle buff for all adventurers that are in it. That's very helpful because that will make sure that the other DPS in the rooms for Omega 2, they make sure that they also get a good buff. Now then, Glio is very important for this, I would say. If you don't own Glio, there are other options in which I will get to a little bit later, but the prints I ran for Glio is the Candy for the Maxima skill damage and some Broken Punisher for when he is in break. It's a little bit more. Then I ran United by One Vision. The reason why I chose United by One Vision over like a Jules of the Sun or even the newer print that gave Flurry Strength and Skill Haste, I forget what it's called. I'll probably mention that in a little bit. But it's because of United Haste. According to the math, United Haste gives slightly more skill haste than Jules of the Sun when all 4 allies are alive. So that's why I ran that. That way she could get off more defense nows, more of the buff fields. That's why I chose it for that role. And now then I use the Patia Grace combo. The Patia Grace combo is nuts. It will make sure that rarely anyone dies. Now then, to quickly explain this, Patia here, first of all, I don't even have her Agito weapon yet. I just have her Chimera, and which will also Cleo. I've got to mention that. Zero on binds though. Zero on binds. Now then, the prince I ran for Patia is Odd Sparrows, because Patia gives a defense buff as well as a strength buff off of her S1. That's a reason why she's busted. So then that's why she has strength double buff. That way she can begin to get off a little more damage, and also healing double buff. That way she can make sure that she stays alive. And also for this reason, it's for proper maintenance, because of full HP equals strength 15%. It will make sure that she always has this buff, therefore even more damage, but also for buff time. That way her defense and her strength buff that she gives to everyone on the team, it makes sure that it lasts a while, in conjunction to her natural buff time of 35%. I know that was a lot of information. Feel free to slow down or repeat it if I do go too fast. Because this is my second time recording this. I apparently forgot to hit record on the first time. So yeah, that's just my dumb luck. And now then for dragons, I ran Phallus on Cleo because we all know the terrors of Quad Cleo. I ran Phallus. That way Cleo is still fulfilling a semi-DPS role, which is also why she has this. That way she can fulfill the offensive role while still fulfilling that supportive role really easily. Now, for Patia, I have Marsh. I have Marsh because I really don't. I don't have another Mub Phallus, or B, have the new dragon, which is let me get to it, which is Azazel. Azazel works amazing because he gives HP and skill haste. He is amazing for Patia Grace combos. He is amazing for that. If you have Azazel mubbed, you can easily put him on Patia or Grace. Honestly, either one. Grace will benefit because of more HP shields, and Patia will benefit because she'll then be getting off so much more strength buffs and the defense buffs. She'll benefit from that immensely. But regardless, I don't have him. So for Patia, I use Marsh for a little bit more damage, and for Grace, I used Nidhogg, which is one of her best options. If you have Nidhogg mubbed, that's like easily top 2 options for her. It's either that or Azazel. I'm like 95% sure on that one. If you don't have Nidhogg, you can use the free Ibisu, which is Cat because of HP 40%. That's like a free play, like third option, just in case. Now I also have an Agito on her. That way she can get another defense buff, which is also for another Odd Sparrows. Honestly, for the same reasons. But the STR double buff, just a little bit more. Just in case if rooms are lacking in DPS, she can at least do a little bit more. That's about it. Then from there, I ran Chocolatiers. That way I get a fast HP shield immediately. Just in case if people are not exactly high in DPS. That and also an early HP shield means that the AI can fuck up nice and early. But yeah, though, that can explain pretty much my team. Now then, what are other adventure options? Now then, when it comes to the DPS role, Galax is obviously the best for Darking. But yeah, when it comes to water DPS stuff, for example, Tiki works very well. I did try with Tiki. Tiki's fun. Tiki's a lot of fun to use. Tiki's so much fun. I love it. Other DPS roles? Zaneford I think could work. Fior maybe work. But yeah, But that's probably about it for DPS. You could use a Valario, Mitsuba, I think as well. Those two should be able to work very well even. You could also try the new unit as well. Urius. He could work as well. Lily might work. But DPS water-wise, I would rather just use Galax. Because, well, for me, when I was doing... On my winning run, Galax was literally doing 200k per Crisis Edge. It was amazing. And when it comes to the support role for Pure Waters, for Pure Water team at least, Galley can work very well on a Pure Water team, but however, just if you're running like part Dark, part Water, you can use Story Mode Ellie San very well. And just if you have either Galley or Ellie, I highly recommend this dragon. This dragon, when mobbed, is their best friend. It is so good because of the skill recharge. Because it really gives them skill prep whenever they use their buffs. It truly is an amazing dragon that was made for Ellie and Galley. It's amazing. I'm sorry, Lazary could work for DPS as well. I completely forgot about that. But as a pro support option is Galasaris. Not Galasaris, Hunter Saris. Apologies. I do recommend probably at least one person having her. That way she can keep Phraeganoth's attack lower because off of her force strike, she can do minus 15% strength to the enemy. It is very good. It's very solid. So I do recommend at least one person having her. That way rooms can be a little freer to mess up a little bit. And also tail swipes won't be doing nearly as much damage. I'm sorry if I'm cutting in and out. I'm itching my nose. For some reason it's itching immensely. Now then, another supporter option is actually Gala Euden. He is very good, mainly because when it comes to that buff zone I was talking about Gleo having, he does that too. He can also do that. Then also his S2, it's really just another buff that can come eventually, which is still pretty nice. So yes, so you can use him. Actually, on one of the people I saw that had helped me clear this in a random pub, he actually had Gala Euden and Ellie San on the same team. So yeah, just if you really do want to use Gala Euden and Ellie San, you can do it. You definitely can do it. I have seen it been done. They were in my room, so feel free to use them. That's probably about it for supports, to be honest. Now then, as for what not to bring, don't bring anyone that relies on the other afflictions. So for example, Nefaria, don't bring. Vice, don't bring. Anyone else I know off of the tip of my head? Yasu you could bring, but I was having trouble with him because he isn't as high on the dark DPS as I would have liked. You can use Belina very easily. Belina under conditions is like right below Galax, but me personally, if the overall DPS is not good enough, the tail swipe will just delete her. But that's me though. So use Belina with caution if you do want to use her. That's about it for those. Frostbite Punisher, feel free to use, because you can frostbite him. But let's say you don't have Grace, for example, for my team comp. You can use Healer Cleo if you don't own Gleo. Obviously, when she's 70 out, she's a very good healer. Very, very good. Other healers, water healers are still pretty solid. Jiangxia is obviously the best option for a water healer. And beyond that is really Healer Aline and Thaniel, which are only alright. I would say they need a buff before they can be used very well. But that's just me though, at least. And one more option is Halloween Lowen. I know he is a limited 4-star, but he is a very good healer. He is one of the best healers in the entire game. If you just have him, you can more than happily use him to great effect. But other than that hopefully that explained how to properly team build. Hopefully that did. Just if you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below. And print options, more or less, if you don't have limited prints, say for example this print, just run stuff that's very similar to it. So for example, in place of this candy contours thing, you can very easily use a resounding rendition very well. Primal Crisis. Let me actually pull up a print because I forgot the name. Oh wait, no, it's Breakfast out of Lario's. Still does give it the flare strength and the crit rate. It's just not as much crit rate as Primal Crisis because it's up to 10%. But that about does it for print options, character options, dragon options. Weapons, I recommend your main DPS having a Mob Agito. If you don't, High Dragon Tier 2. If not that, Chimera. Core weapons, I think it's too tight. Going to be honest. I think with the core weapon, it is very tight. Unless if you have people who can carry you, I don't recommend core. That's what I'll say. Chimera weapons will be a tighter room. High Dragon Tier 2s will be a pretty safe room. Agitos are obviously your best bet for the safest rooms out there. But at the least, have your main DPS have the highest possible weapon you can get. Whoever you are maining, make sure that they have the highest possible weapon in your entire box. That's what I recommend. So now that hopefully I've explained enough about team building, but now you do need to know how to face Phraeganoth, alright? Now then, when it comes to Phraeganoth, there's really one thing in particular you must do. And this is something Day 1 players learned the hard way. Very, very quickly, they had to learn this. Break the fucking tail. Yes, I'm cursing at this, alright? Because in my runs, people were not aiming for the tail. If you want to clear this, you need to break that fucking tail, okay? You need to break the tail. Now then, I want to do a solo room to show off this team, and more or less be showing you how to break the tail and what to do in certain situations, alright? I'm also doing a solo because, well, if I were to do it in co-op, this might easily take an hour. So, I'm going to do it solo. That way it's easier on my sanity. And Matthew. You're welcome, Matt. Who is my editor. So then, start up. Just make sure that he's... Alright, so he's coming this way. Be sure you ignore those yellow splotches, because those will inflict burn on you. Make sure you avoid that. Those are alright. Attack level is up, so now just start spamming whatever skill you are maining. And for me, I'll be maining Crisis Edge because of the poison. Look at that. Be sure you iframe this, just because of more damage purposes. The tail is already down. So now then, once that tail is down, you can pretty much aim for the main body. You don't have to aim for the legs, because he really doesn't do any more purple attacks. Now then, also when it comes to this part now, I transform and just absolutely blitz a magma spot before anything bad can happen. Of course, I'm targeted here. All right, so now let's just. Alright, so I'm going to make sure that everyone comes down here first. That way that purple doesn't absolutely destroy everyone. There you go. So now let's just continue trucking. break is upon us, so now let's have fun. 300. 300. And yeah, this is now pretty brain-dead standard Gallic stuff. Now then, well, one thing I do want to mention is that I pretty much have maxed out facilities. All my facilities are done, if not almost done. The only things that are not maxed out for me are the Dark Altars, which is from the 35 to the 40, and my Shadow Fafnir statue, which is from the High Zodiarch. I just refuse to work on that. And see, like a new record, 2 minutes with a team like this. But yeah, though, that is this should hopefully help. This should hopefully help you guys out. Just if you have any more questions, feel free to leave them down below. But that's my overall synopsis. And also something else about Omega 2. This is really just for the veterans and or the completionists, really, because other than that, it just gives like exquisite honey and the one endeavor for like 100 Warmite. That is it. And well, as you see here, I did it. Just my dailies, don't mind me. But yeah, though, I beat it in 3 minutes of 30 seconds, in which, let me actually pull that up very quickly. I have it under screenshots right here. See Omega level 2, 3 minutes 30 seconds with that exact same team. So yeah, there's my proof, and hopefully this video has helped you guys. Feel free to say whatever and to talk about it or whatever. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But hopefully this has helped you. Feel free to subscribe. I'm going to try to do more stuff on stuff that I'm confident in clearing. I might do like stuff for like High Dragon's Volk eventually. I might. But however, I do have lots of ideas for YouTube now. I have lots of ideas, and I'm going to try to slowly start to bring them in. I'm going to slowly do it now because I'm motivated. So thank you all for stopping by. Hopefully you have learned something, and I will see you all whenever I upload again.